First, this is for Jimmy, Les Miles is suing LSU because they vacated 37 wins from 2012 to 2015 in a deal with the NCAA. He's saying that knocks him below 600 in the winning percentage, which will block him from the College Football Hall of Fame. Jimmy, would he have gotten in the Hall of Fame anyway?
I think he probably would have. You won a national championship, regardless of how good of a coach you are. You can get into the Hall of Fame. I think he would have, based on primarily the success he had at LSU. Yes.
What's interesting is there was a report that none of the schools he coached at nominated him for being included in the Hall of Fame. So you first need one of your schools to nominate you. So that's an interesting one.
There's also some of the accusations he's had. I think
Jimmy.
Zero chance.
Not you, Will. We're trying to keep it. I don't want to besmirch Les Miles.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. You're right. That's a huge part of it. All right. This is for Josh. Brent Venables just signed a new 6-year deal with Oklahoma that will pay him on average about $8.5 million a year over the next 6 years. Will that quell any worries for those Vol fans out there? Although judging by our percentages, not many of them care. Will that calm any fears that someday Venables gets fired, Oklahoma comes after their favorite son, and Heupel leaves for Oklahoma?
Now, it might ramp it up even more because now your fear is that, they'll be even more desperate if it doesn't work out for Venables, and they'll make a panic fire and then overpay to hire. So I don't see any time anywhere in the near future that Josh Heupel would go to Oklahoma. But for those who have that fear will remain and perhaps get worse.
Good deal. All right. Next, Vince. Florida has a Canadian basketball player. Let's put this thing on the screen. Florida has a Canadian basketball player coming on board this year who is 7'9". He was 6'1" at the age of 8. 6'1" at 8 years old. 7'9". You see him there standing next to a guy who is 6'2" in that photo. My question, though, is he going to dominate the SEC?
I'm going to say no. He's going to get pick and rolled a lot. So in today's college basketball game, no. I think he'll have a defensive presence, but
you don't see him being Zach Edey too.
No, I mean I think he would have to fill out, and we'd have to see him adjust, a little bit to see how he looks on this level. But my first guess is no, he'll be a role player.
It's only a 3-star player, which tells you he's really being recruited because he's 7'9". But how much skill can a 7'9" guy have?
Hate him.
Oh yeah. It's interesting that we were talking in between segments here. You would think he would have wound up at Purdue, where they keep getting those guys and they know how to use them. Florida, I don't know that that's we'll see, but I think that's an interesting fit, bringing in a 7'9" into the SEC.
Nate Oates' 5-out basketball is going to cook that kid, right? Like he is useless in that.
Or he just won't play as much.
That's right.
Kind of
Yeah.
But the people who there's a time when if I'd shown you that 15, 20 years ago, and said, is he going to dominate? You go, oh yeah, 7'9", the way the game's played, but it's not played that way.
Yeah.
All right, Will, start us off. Predictions, game 2. Tennessee has to win this afternoon, and let me just go ahead and get the plug in here. Road to the Ring. That's at 1:30 right here, so that's about an hour and 5 minutes away. So you might as well just sit right here, WATE. Reese Van Haften and the Six Sports team out in Omaha are going to get you ready for today's game, which comes your way right here on WATE at 2 p.m. Eastern. Vols have to win it to keep their season alive, to keep the national championship hopes alive. What happens, Will?
I think Tennessee wins. I do. I think Tennessee will hit. I think they'll be more aggressive when Tennessee. I think that A&M probably doesn't have another pitching strategy they can use against Tennessee. Also, if the strike zone is a little less liberal, I think that it's BP like it was against Evansville in that series. So I think Tennessee wins today.
Different pitchers, different approach. And I think you'll see Tennessee have a lot more success. Every game in baseball is completely different. And I think you'll see Tennessee respond really well. Plus, teams that lose game 1, I mean, they have won 7 of the College World Series in 3 games. So it's happened before.
Years.
Yeah, in 20 years.
But still, that's more than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I think Tennessee has a pitching advantage in this game. And if it's Lampkin versus Seacrest, Lampkin's been good. He won 2 games already in the College World Series, but he doesn't go deep. And I would still give Xander Seacrest, who has a 4-0 record, 1.23 ERA, only giving up 4 earned runs in 29 and a third innings in his last 5 starts. I would give him the advantage in a game 3 as well.
I took Vols in 3 at the start of the final series, which meant they had to split the first two, which means they have to win today. So with any chance of being right, they will win today. So I think Tennessee will win. I think they'll slug their way through to game 2 and kind of set up a chance for one more great story of Xander Sechrist.
They left so many guys on base yesterday, and they still scored 5 runs.
Yeah.
I just think their bats are going to wake up. Thoughts?
Tennessee 7-4. How's that? You
The
want a
same
prediction?
score as the SEC tournament game against Texas A&M?
Yep, 7-4.
Okay.
That's the call.
I think they score more than 7 today. I think the offense.
Let's do a poll on them.
Let's do a poll right here. How much if the over under 7?
I'll take the over.
I will take the over, but I mean A&M can really pitch. This
See?
isn't their ace though on the mound.
Wait, I'll
so
see you
maybe
in 6 hours. You know how long the game will take?
51st career start.
Yeah, that's
for-
right. Now that is an issue. I mentioned this earlier. I'm sorry. I was out of town a couple weeks ago. I was at Fenway Park. Saw a couple of games. Both of them under 3 hours. There's no reason I'm sitting there watching a 4-hour college baseball game.
No,
last
there's
night.
not.
Take note. Watch a major league game. Take notes. Do that.
And they have a clock.
I know.
And it's still
How
there.
is it still so slow?
I-
And it's,
no idea.
it's helped
Use
Major League
10
Baseball's
pitchers.
attendance big time.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 So how do you have a pitching clock and it's still this slow?
Well, time, stepping out of the batter's box and
using
all
10
the pitching
pitchers, too.
visits
That
and stuff.
draws it too. All right, gentlemen, thank you all very much.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck to the Vols. Good luck to you today as you watch. I hope you have good luck today. We'll see you right back here next Sunday to talk recruiting and hopefully a Tennessee.